Ever looked out at your lawn and seen those weird patches of yellow grass or frustrating brown spots? Maybe it's half dead and half thriving. It's a common sight for homeowners. Most people think mowing, watering, and fertilizing is enough lawn care. But the truth is, a few simple mistakes can completely ruin your yard. Did you know that watering the wrong way can actually make grass weaker, or that cutting it too short can damage the roots? Welcome to Lawn Care Academy, the place to discover practical strategies that work in every climate. A healthy lawn doesn't need to cost a fortune or take endless hours of effort. In fact, the best lawn tips are often the simplest ones. In today's video, we'll go through the top 10 lawn care mistakes homeowners across the US struggle with, and more importantly, how to fix them. These aren't complicated tricks, just small changes that make a big difference. If any of these mistakes sound familiar, drop a comment below. Grab a cup of coffee, relax, and stay tuned, because I'll also share a secret tip at the end that can save you hundreds of dollars on service fees. And if you find this helpful, consider subscribing for more pro lawn care tips every week. Alright, let's dive into lawn care mistake number 1, watering your lawn the wrong way. Have you ever looked out at your yard and felt that familiar pang of embarrassment when you see those big, ugly brown patches? It's frustrating, especially when you've tried everything, watering every single day, just like you were told. But here's the crazy truth. One of the biggest lawn care mistakes is actually watering too much or too little. A lot of people think if you just soak the grass, it'll turn green, but overwatering can literally drown your lawn's roots, making them weak and shallow. This creates a perfect breeding ground for fungal diseases like brown patch, which spreads through your lawn like a wildfire in the summer heat. On the other hand, underwatering can just as quickly turn your yard into a dry, yellow wasteland, especially with grass types like Kentucky bluegrass in the hot months. The good news is, you don't have to spend a fortune on a lawn service or fancy products. The solution is simple: water deep, but less often. Aim for 1 to 2 times a week, early in the morning, making sure the water soaks about 6 inches down into the soil. This forces the roots to grow deeper, making your lawn more resilient. If this tip saved you from a lawn disaster, hit that like button. And stick around because we're about to dive into mistake number 2. Mowing your grass the wrong way. Okay, let's move on to mistake number 2. This is one I see all the time, and I get it, it's tempting to do it to save time. But I promise, it's doing more harm than good. I'm talking about cutting your grass too short. I get it, we all want to save time. I once worked with a family in Texas who thought cutting their grass super low would mean they wouldn't have to mow again for a while. It's a logical thought, right? But the result was a yard with bare spots, sunburned grass, and a whole lot of weeds taking over. Here's why it's a problem. When you scalp your lawn, you're stressing the grass out and exposing the soil to direct sunlight. That's a huge invitation for pesky weeds to move right in and choke out your lawn. The good news is, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to fix it, the solution is free. The golden rule is the 1/3 rule: never, ever cut off more than 1/3 of the grass blade's height at a time. For a grass type like Bermuda, aim for 1.5 to 2 inches. For Kentucky bluegrass, keep it around 3 inches. If your grass is too tall, just cut a little off, wait a day, and cut it again. Fertilizing your lawn is like feeding your family. You want to give it what it needs to thrive. But just like with food, too much can be a serious problem. I'm referring to mistake number 3, which is over-fertilizing. Many homeowners think that if a little fertilizer makes their lawn green, a lot will make it even greener, faster. I've seen it countless times. Someone spreads too much, and the next thing they know, they're left with burnt, brown, splotchy patches that look like a disease. This happens because most fertilizers contain nitrogen, which, in high concentrations, acts like a salt, literally pulling moisture out of the grass and burning the blades. The good news is you can avoid this entirely. The simple solution is to always read and follow the directions on the bag. Better yet, opt for a slow-release fertilizer. It's designed to feed your lawn gradually over weeks or even months, so you get a steady, consistent green without the risk of burning. And remember, timing is key. Fertilize in the spring, early summer, and fall, not in the dead of summer heat. If you've ever accidentally burned your lawn with fertilizer, leave a comment below and share your story. And if this tip saved you from a future disaster, be sure to hit that like button. We've got 7 more mistakes to cover, so you won't want to miss a thing. You've done all the right things. You're watering deep, you're mowing high, you're fertilizing perfectly, but your lawn still just looks weak? You feel like you've wasted your time and money on products that aren't working. That's because you've likely fallen for mistake number 4, ignoring the health of your soil. Think of your lawn like a house. The grass is the beautiful exterior, but the soil is the foundation. If that foundation is weak, nothing else you do will matter. I see it all the time with compacted soil from foot traffic or heavy equipment. When soil gets hard and dense, the roots can't breathe or get the nutrients they need, no matter how much you fertilize. This also happens when the soil's pH is off, which can starve the grass even in ideal conditions. The good news is the fix is simple and doesn't require a ton of money. My number 1 tip is aeration. Just once a year, this process creates small holes that let air, water, and nutrients finally get to the roots. For an even bigger impact, grab a cheap soil test kit. It'll tell you if your soil's pH is off, and you can easily fix it with lime or sulfur. Trust me, it's a game changer. Your lawn is finally starting to look good, and then you see it, a tiny little weed, and then another, and another. Before you know it, you're looking at a yard that's more weeds than grass. This is the 5th major mistake I see homeowners make, waiting until weeds take over. A homeowner in Florida once called me when their yard was almost entirely crabgrass. At that point, it's not only a frustrating battle, but it's also incredibly expensive and time-consuming to fix. Most people think they can just pull the weeds when they see them, or they wait for the problem to get really bad before buying an expensive product. But by then, the weeds have already dropped millions of seeds, ensuring your problem comes back even worse next year. The secret to winning the weed fight is simple: prevention. The best and most cost-effective solution is to use a pre-emergent herbicide in early spring. This creates a barrier that stops weed seeds from germinating in the first place. For any weeds that do pop up, use a spot treatment instead of spraying your entire lawn. This saves you money and protects your healthy grass. We've still got 5 more mistakes to go, so let's keep going. Do you ever get that feeling in the spring, when your neighbor's lawns are greening up, and yours is just patchy and dull? You did everything right last summer, but it just didn't work out. That's because of a huge oversight, what I call mistake number 6, skipping fall and winter care. Most homeowners think lawn care is a summer-only job. They mow, they water, they fertilize, and then they completely forget about their lawn once the weather cools down. But that's a huge missed opportunity because a beautiful spring lawn is actually made in the fall. Neglecting your lawn in the fall means it goes into winter weak and malnourished. For grasses like Kentucky bluegrass and fescue, which thrive in cooler weather, this is a critical time for root development. If you miss it, you'll be left with a thin, weak yard come springtime, which makes it much easier for weeds and diseases to take hold. The good news is, fixing this is easy. Fall is the perfect time for 3 key things: aerating, overseeding to fill in those bare spots, and applying a fall slow-release fertilizer. These steps will help your lawn build strong, deep roots all winter long. Do this, and your lawn will thank you next spring. Have you ever mowed your lawn and noticed the tips of the grass blades look torn and frayed, with a brownish, fuzzy top? You might think it's just a bit of wear and tear, but that's a clear sign of mistake number 7. Using a dull mower blade. It's one of the most common oversights, and it's easy to see why. We just want to get the mowing done, but a dull blade isn't cutting your grass, it's ripping it. Those ragged, torn ends turn brown and make your entire lawn look unhealthy, like it's been hit by a disease. This damage also leaves the grass more vulnerable to pests and fungal infections, especially in humid conditions. It can completely undo all the hard work you've put into watering and fertilizing. The fix is incredibly simple and will save your lawn. You don't need a professional service to do it, and you'll see a night and day difference. Just make it a habit to sharpen your mower blades at least 2 to 3 times per year. A clean, sharp cut allows the grass to heal quickly, keeping your lawn looking pristine and green. If this tip hit home, give this video a like and stick around. We've got more easy fixes for common lawn care mistakes. Have you ever had a beautiful, green lawn everywhere, except for that one bald, thin spot under a big tree? You've tried everything, spending money on extra fertilizer and more seed, but it just won't grow. That's a classic case of mistake number 8, planting the wrong grass for shade. I see this all the time. A lot of people just buy a bag of grass seed and spread it everywhere, assuming it will work. But grasses are like plants, they have different needs. A sun-loving grass like Bermuda simply cannot survive in a shady area. It's built to thrive in full, direct sun, not the dappled light under a big oak tree. This leaves you with a thin, sickly lawn that's prone to weeds and never looks good, no matter what you do. The good news is, the solution is easy and permanent. The key is to select the right grass for the right environment. If you have a heavily shaded area, you need to use a shade-tolerant variety. Opt for a fescue or St. Augustine grass. These are built to thrive in low light conditions and will give you a lush, full lawn in spots where other grasses would fail. You've done everything right. You picked the perfect grass, you're watering and mowing flawlessly, but then you start seeing strange, irregular yellow patches. You pull at the grass, and it lifts up like a piece of carpet. If this sounds familiar, you're likely facing mistake number 9, ignoring lawn pests. These tiny invaders can cause massive damage almost overnight, and they're often overlooked. 2 of the biggest culprits are grubs and chinch bugs. Grubs are little C-shaped larvae that live underground and literally eat your grass roots, leaving large, dead sections that are easy to pull up. Chinch bugs, common in warmer climates like Florida, are tiny insects that suck the sap out of grass blades, leaving behind dry, brown, irregularly shaped patches that look similar to drought stress. The problem is, if you don't treat them, they'll spread, and fixing the damage can cost a fortune. The good news is, you don't need to be an entomologist to fight back. The key is early detection. Look for those irregular yellow or brown patches and try to pull up the grass. If it lifts easily, you might have grubs. For chinch bugs, part the grass and look for tiny, fast-moving bugs at the base. The solution is to apply a grub control or general insecticide in late spring or early summer, before the damage becomes widespread. If this saved you from a pest invasion, hit that like button. We're almost to our final mistake, so stay tuned. We've covered 9 major mistakes today, but this final one is about your mindset, and it might be the most important. I'm talking about mistake number 10, expecting instant results. We live in a world of quick fixes and instant gratification, and lawn care is no different. You'll see products that promise a lush, green lawn in a week. But I've been doing this for over 15 years, and I can tell you, a truly beautiful yard isn't made overnight. It comes from consistent, deliberate care over multiple seasons. I've seen homeowners spend thousands on products and services looking for a magic bullet, only to be disappointed. They get a temporary green, but the underlying problems with the soil, watering, or pests come right back. The good news is that you don't need a magic bullet. You just need patience. If you apply the tips we've covered today, watering deeply, mowing correctly, and caring for your soil, you will see results. It's a marathon, not a sprint. I promise you, after just 1 or 2 seasons of proper care, your lawn will be healthier, greener, and more resilient than ever before. It will be a lawn you'll be truly proud of. So, we've gone on a journey today, covering the top 10 lawn care mistakes. We've talked about everything from the fundamentals like watering and mowing correctly, to digging deeper into things like soil health, pest control, seasonal neglect, and even the sharpness of your mower blades. And finally, we ended with perhaps the most important lesson: patience. By avoiding these common mistakes, you're not just getting a beautiful, healthy lawn that your neighbors will envy. You're saving yourself from hours of frustration and potentially hundreds, even thousands, of dollars in wasted products or expensive professional services. Now, I'm curious. Which of these mistakes were you making in your own yard? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one, and I'd love to help answer your specific questions. If you found these tips helpful and you want to keep your lawn looking amazing all year long, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Trust me on this one. With a few simple changes and a bit of patience, you really can have the beautiful, lush yard of your dreams. Your lawn will definitely thank you for it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy lawn care.